Today I'm going to show you how to edge this garden bed behind me. I just put some plants in. They're half dead. We're not going to talk about that, okay? We'll skip over that. I'll show you close up. I'm going to be using 2 tools and a stake to help me mark it. The pros don't need that. I'm not a pro, so this is definitely beginner friendly DIY. I'm pretty simple. I'll actually show you one bed that I did edge so you can know what to expect. Some of this was done before when I didn't know what I was doing, so I just have to clean it up. And then some parts down there is going to be completely new edging that I've never touched. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle, and I do home projects inside and out, including gardening, which I'm going to show you today. This is some edging that I did before. This is my pollinator garden that I put in. I grew most of these from seeds. I've got some rhododendron that need to be planted. So you can see definitely a nice, smooth, clean line, nice border here. Let me get to it, and I'm just going to work, and I will talk you through my process. These are the garden stakes. These are soaker hose stakes, and I'm using a soaker hose here so it helps keep it in place. If I don't keep it in place, I'm not going to get a good line. I'm telling you now, I've tried it. It doesn't work. I'm using the soaker hose to create the shape that I want, and I'm just doing it very loosely at first, trying to imagine what I want and lots of stepping back and looking to make sure things are in the right place. And then I'll go back and make the adjustments that I need. And this is where the stakes come in hand to hold the hose in place. And you don't have to use a soaker hose, a regular hose, or anything that's flexible can work. The stakes just help keep it in place. And again, all you're doing is pushing it into the soil. I prefer soft curves. So this is just the first run, and I actually think it might be okay. So these are peonies. The other thing to consider is how wide do the plants grow, and these grow up to 3 to 6 feet wide. So there may be ongoing adjustments needed. Thinking instead of it being so curvy here, I'm going to bring it closer to here, less rounded at the tip. And then I actually think the rest is okay. I don't mind this. And then these are how the stakes work. The only annoying part is if there's a stone. So this one I couldn't put in all the way. Just there's a stone there. So I'm definitely going to figure out, put it somewhere next to it. Okay, so see, super easy. Just get your shape down. I think I'll just make this more smart like that. There we go. That's better. These are the 2 tools I'm using. I got this on Amazon. I bought one previously from Lowe's and I returned it. I didn't like it. I don't even know what the difference is at this point because that was last summer. Could just be I didn't know how to use it. But this is the Garden Weasel Lawn Edger. Really like it. And a shovel. So I'm going to first put that down. And I'm going to go along the edge here with the back side towards me on a completely 90-degree angle. And you want to go deep as this, which is probably 7 or 8 inches, maybe 6. And you want to get a straight line. I used to do this on an edge, but that's wrong. Straight down very deeply. Now I'm just going to follow the shape of the hose, and it's okay if you get off a little bit. You can see there are some areas where I'm closer to the hose or I'm a little bit further away, but it usually still works out. And that's because even though you have the stakes down, the hose can still shift a little bit. So you also want to eyeball and make sure that the shape makes sense. You can even see right here the hose is not on that perfect curve where I just cut there. It was pushed in a little bit from movement, which is okay. And that means now that my next cut, I came out a little bit further away from the hose. So again, this is just a guide. It helps a lot, but you obviously have to take an eyeball on how things are moving and shifting. And after that, it's really pretty quick. I'm loosening up the soil, making sure that I push the rake not only down, but also then upward, almost like a shoveling movement. Okay, with the hose up, you can see where you made that line. You can see the separation in the soil. So if you follow my finger, it's right all along here, and then it starts to turn. So you're just going to put your edger in that again, and now try to really get deep down and crank up the soil. And you want to lift and just toss it to the side. Or in this case, right back on top of here. I'm okay with that. You can't just do this. You have to actually move the soil away. You want to be mindful where you're tossing the soil. It may actually be a better option to throw it into the grass. You never want to have a bunch of dirt or wood chips from the mulch packed up against your house. You want there to always be a nice flow of water or drainage sloping away from your house. But for this little bit of soil, it's going to be fine for me. It's a rock. My goodness. Get out of here. There's another one. Don't mess up my line now, you damn rock. Golly. You Aggie. Okay, so for the second pass, the line looks pretty okay. There are definitely some areas to fix up right here. So easy enough to smooth that out. And there's one other spot right, it might be hard to tell, just right here. Other than that, pretty okay, but I'm going to go around again with the edger because now that I got a lot of the soil removed out of the way, I can get even deeper with the edger. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to show you because it's literally the same thing. I'm just edging around. And then what I have to do is pull back some of this soil and mulch. So it's kind of a mound. So we're going to have to pull that back and also use our shovel so that there's not just a huge dip in the soil, because when it rains, everything is just going to pool up in this line that you made in this edge. So you want it to be at more of a 45. This is probably more of a 60. So I'm going to edge again, clean it up, and then come back. You can see the hard line here and then how this just drops off this way. So you want it to be more of a decline or less of a decline. Otherwise, things will just pool down here when it rains. So I'm going to use my shovel and I'm just going to ease that out a bit. And put the soil there. That way, it's more of a decline. Let's move these out the way and clean it up. I'm just going to taper all the way around. I'm just knocking down this edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm trying my best to move the soil in a horizontal direction while getting it out of this slope and not put it towards the house. So I just continue to do this all throughout. Hopefully I was able to show you how easy it is to do a garden edge. I think this took me about 20 minutes, so super easy. I've got a few more in my garden to do and tidy up what's in the front yard, and I'm going to do the same process because it works really well for me. If you have any tips though to make it easier for myself or anyone who's watching, please make sure you comment below. You can see it's a mess around me, and we are working on a lawn renovation and doing a lot of cleanup. I'll be posting it all, so if you're interested, I'll leave a link below once it's ready, or you could just check out my channel and see when it shows up. Make sure to subscribe so you are aware and hit the bell for the notifications. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll be back. Here's a reminder of the before, and this is where we are now. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you again soon.